And station, this is Houston. Are you guys ready for the event?
Go ahead, we are ready.
And JSCPAO, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is JSCPAO. How do you hear me?
Loud and clear. Welcome to station.
Great. Our first question will be from Gina Sinceri with ABC.
Good morning, ISS. This question is for Karen Nyberg. You've had quite the experience creating items up in space for your son. Tell me a little bit about that and what ingenuity that's taken.
It actually took me quite a bit of time to get some momentum to get something made. I had a lot of expectations and hopes with stuff I brought with me, but finally it was the day that that Cygnus was supposed to arrive, and it was delayed, and so we had a whole day. It was a Sunday off, and that's when I created the little dinosaur for him.
Bill Harwood, we're ready for your question.
Question for Karen. Could you give us a little preview of what you're looking forward to coming home? You've been away a long time. Obviously, you've got a thematic ride coming up. Tell us a little bit about what you're looking forward to.
Yeah, I think the ride is going to be a wild ride and a lot of fun. But more than anything, I'm, of course, looking forward to seeing my husband and my son.
Okay, moving on, we will go with Elizabeth Howell with Universe Today.
Hello, what sort of modifications have you made to fit 9 people on board?
Hi, this is Luca Parmitano. So one of the things we had to do was actually make space for them. We had to move our Soyuz, which was docked to the MRM port. We moved to a different port so that the new crew could get there. So that was the first modification we had to make. And then also we had to adjust for emergency procedure. All our procedures are trained and worked out for a crew of 6. Now we are 9, and so we had to come up with a way to respond in case something happens. And the last modification, but probably the most important for everyday life, was find a space for the crew to sleep. So in the end, we decided that the old crew has seniority and would stay in the crew quarters that we had before. And the new crew was kind enough to just pick one of the modules. They're all nice, spacious, and cozy. And they each picked one, and that's where they're sleeping.
Or Bill Harwood with CBS, if you have a follow-up.
Yes, I do. I have a question for Sergey, if I could. Could you tell us a little bit about your spacewalk and the Olympic torch, exactly what you plan to do with it, and how important that is to Russia to show that torch up in space?
Well, this is really interesting adventure, really interesting work. And I'm honestly looking forward to this, my first in-a-life spacewalk. We will perform usual EVA with some special task to make photos and video with Olympic torch. And this is some part of official Olympic torch relay that is now in our country. That's all. Maybe Oleg will add something. No.
Okay, no problem. So if you were to be able to have a crew of 9 up there regularly, can you talk a little bit about how much more science could be done, and also what facilities would need to be modified to keep 9 people busy?
I think absolutely moving to 9 people is doable as far as the science, and it would be fantastic. You know, for a long time we had 3 crew members here, and when we moved to 6, that was a big jump. One of the things really to be concerned about, though, is our environmental control system, and CO2 production, of course, will be increased, and then our systems have to keep up with that, and also the consumables and the supplies we need. I think certainly making up the science for us to do would be very doable. I think the harder part would be getting the systems to accommodate the 9 people.
Okay, thank you all. That will be all from NASA. Thank you all again.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the NASA portion of the event. Please stand by for a voice check from Moscow, PAO.
Здравствуйте, меня зовут Екатерина Миронова.
Екатерина Mironova, TV station Russia. My question is for the 10th crew member, which is the Olympic torch that has been on the station for 24 hours already. I wonder where it spent the night and what exactly are you doing with it? As to what we are doing with the torch, I can say the torch has been delivered by the crew of Mikhail Tyurin. Mikhail Tyurin was the first person that entered the International Space Station with the torch. After that, every crew member held the torch in his or her hand, and each of us flew through the station, starting with the Japanese module by Koichi. Then Luca picked it up and went through the European module. Then Michael Hopkins took the torch. Then Karen Nyberg flew through Destiny through the lab. Then Rick Mastracchio took it over. Then Mikhail Tyurin took it over. Then Sergey Ryazanskiy took it. Then Oleg Kotov took the torch. And in the end, I secured it in the Russian segment in a special place. Thank you. Right now, we have 9 crew members on board. That's a lot of people. Usually you have only 6. I'm sure if you are cozy there. Tell us about it. In fact, 9 people is not the limit of how many people the station can accommodate. We used to have 13 people here at a time when the shuttle crews were able to arrive here. Koichi remembers those days. That's why I can say that the systems of the station are able to accommodate 9 people. Of course, we have more people, but it is not creating any obstacles. And we are preparing for EVA tomorrow, and we are preparing for Fyodor's crew to return soon. Everything is going fine.
Hi, my name is Lindsay France from Russia today. My question is for Oleg Kotov and Sergey Ryazanskiy. The phrases that Gagarin and Armstrong said on their pioneering space endeavors became historic. The famous Polygochale, or Let's Go by Gagarin, and the One Small Step by Armstrong. Have you ever maybe thought of a catchphrase you will use when you take the Olympic torch out on its first ever spacewalk?
Yes, in fact, if it is something important, it needs to be followed up with some kind of set of words. Probably we will just try to forward the Olympic Games, general health, and athletics activities in the whole world. We are not going to be too original. And now a question for Oleg and Sergey. Please tell us a little more what exactly is going to happen, how you are going to hand over the torch, what exactly you are going to do with it when you are out of the station. Well, once again, I'll have to say that this is not the only task that we are going to have. This will be just one stage of the whole session of activities outside the station this time. We are going to move along the outside of the Russian segment, and we will be symbolically handing over the torch from one crew member to the other. We will repeat that a couple or 3 times to make sure we will have a pretty picture, to make sure the whole world and our country will see the torch in a nice way that it is, with the background of the Earth, and black space will be on the Russian segment. So it is a sort of a creative task. It is technically challenging, and we hope for success. Thank you. I have a question for Fyodor Yurchikhin. On the 11th, you are supposed to return the torch back to Earth. I wonder if special ceremonies are planned on saying goodbye to the torch on ISS.
Ну, конечно же, безусловно,
Of course,
в первую очередь,
we will have something.
не только с олимпийским символом, это
We are not only saying bye to the Olympic torch. We've been working here for 5.5 months.
безусловно, очень хочется домой.
Each of us, of course, is missing home a lot. We will have some touchy moments. We will be saying farewell to our friends that are staying on the station. Oleg and Sergey will give the torch to us. This will be already the third space vehicle that the torch will be traveling on. And we will hand it over later on to the Olympic Committee. So the main thing is to perform EVA tomorrow with the EVA, and we will be there on the Russian segment handing over the torch. Please tell us how Karen is handling now 7 or 8 men on board of the station. Let's ask Karen. Let's ask Karen how she's dealing with us.
These guys are like a group of brothers for me. I've been in the mechanical engineering field for most of my adult life, and in that field I'm usually among 20% or so female. So I'm accustomed to that, and these guys are all great. So it's been fantastic.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the Mission Control Moscow portion of the event. Please stand by for a voice check from ESA PAO.
Station, this is ESA PAO. How can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Welcome on board.
We're here in Esrin, and we'll go on with the questions. First question.
Hello, everybody. This is Andreana D'Aquino speaking from Rome, ADN Press Agency. My first question is for Luca. Ciao Luca, stai per tornare sulla Terra.
About to come back to Earth. What is your conclusion of this long mission in space? Well, the first thing that I wanted to say is that it didn't feel long at all. These 5.5 months went by in one moment with so many things happening. A mission that was really full of specific events, and I hope of great results, starting from the first event, one of the first missions that we completed in within 4 orbits, the arrival of the ATV, 2 EVAs, even though one ended pretty quickly, and then 2 more vehicles that arrived at station and were captured with the robotic arm, one the Japanese module, and then the first Cygnus module. And then this re-entry with the movement of the Soyuz and with the Olympic torch. So from my standpoint, 100% positive experience.
La domanda per Luca.
The question for Luca.
Luca,
you said that you miss from up there espresso family and even pizza, and obviously everything else. But do you already have a feel for what you're going to be missing about space once you've returned?
Ciao Paolo,
Hi Paolo, welcome on board. In order, I would have put the family, then espresso, pizza, and everything else. But But when I think about, actually, I'm trying not to think about coming back too much, because even though I'm ready to come back, and it's great to think about seeing my family again and feeling the warmth of people and human contact, I think I will very much miss this environment. It's hard to identify one thing. I will miss everything, really, because the station was my home for the past 6 months. Welcoming home, a home where the work is very specific and it's different. Every day has a different event, and there's never time to get bored. And what the most beautiful view that you can think of. So maybe if the day after tomorrow, I should think about what I'm going to miss above all. What I'm going to miss above everything is the idea of being here, living weightless in this extraordinary world. The view, obviously, what I'm able to see from the cupola is something that I think I will always bring with me, but the physical sensation of being weightless is something that I think I will miss immediately.
Hi everybody, this is Marta Meli from SkyTV24. A question for Luca.
Question for Luca. I would like to come back to you to the second spacewalk, the one that turned you into Superman in the way that you faced the emergency. So on the eve of your return, how are you thinking about that experience, and would you like to go back out there? First of all, welcome aboard. I will immediately answer to the final part of the questions. The desire to come back out started the moment we closed the hatch. I would have wanted to take the water out of the helmet and go right back out to finish my work. So for me, this is the only moment that is somewhat incomplete is this sensation, this feeling that I would like to be able to go back out and finish the work I started with Chris. What am I left with this experience? I always say this. When you consider an experience in its entirety, any experience builds memories. Memories that are almost always positive. So for me, that experience ended up well. So it was resolved without any following issues. So the thing that will stay with me is another moment from my career as an experimental pilot, as a fighter pilot. Times when I've had to solve problems right there in the moment, which fortunately with a little bit of luck and training and all the training that I've had before throughout my life as a pilot in the Air Force. So we were able to resolve the emergency well. So I would be ready to go back out there at any time.
Giorgio Pacifici, TG2.
Since 37 years, your mission was a record, an EVA. So now, the future, what is your future going to be, and what other records are you going to be setting?
Ciao Giorgio.
Hi Giorgio.
È difficile dirlo adesso.
It's hard to say now. For too long, I've lived thinking about what was going to happen next. So now I'm going to focus on just enjoying and living my experience day by day. So for now, my focus is on the next event, which is the return to Earth. We have a lot of procedures to follow. They're complex. Our re-entry is very complex and dynamic with very active phases. So I'm focusing on that. As far as the future goes, I think I can only talk about the immediate future. So I'm thinking about my colleague Samantha Cristoforetti, who's going to leave next year. My main task is to be able to talk with her and collaborate with her and prepare her so that she can give her best in the mission. She will do that for sure, but if I can contribute, since my experience is so fresh, it will be a pleasure to be able to work with her as a colleague and a friend.
Ancora una domanda per Luca.
Another question for Luca.
Cosa ti aspetta al tuo rientro a terra?
What is expecting you once you come back to Earth?
Questo me lo dovete dire voi.
So this, you should be telling me that, because I'm up here, so I don't know what what's awaiting. So, jokes aside, once we arrive after the landing with the crew, we will be set aside to evaluate medically and scientifically what happened once we get back to Earth. I will let you know that the first images that you will see will be our recovery crew that is going to lift us up and take us away onto some couches. Now, that's not because we don't know how to walk, but to prevent any sort of effect of gravity on our organism and let the scientists to be able to work on 3 bodies that are completely not used to the gravity effect. So the first few hours are going to be about taking samples. Then Fyodor will be taken to Star City in Russia to continue the physiological studies, whereas Karen and I will be taken to the U.S. on a flight as direct as possible to Houston, where they will continue some studies for several days, some physiological studies, and then a rehab period to allow us to come back quickly in shape so that we can resume working here.
Paolo D'Angelo answer a question for the crew, for the Commander Tyurin. You promised a surprise with the torch. What will be? Maybe you think you will light it?
Will you light the torch?
Yeah, will you light the torch?
Вы зажгете?
It is not planned to to ignify anything on board of the station, including Olympic torch. But we'll follow all the symbolic requirements and procedures working with it.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the ESA portion of the event. Please stand by for a voice check from JAXA PAO.
Okay. Station, this is JAXA Tokyo. How do you hear me?
Loud and clear. Welcome on board.
Okay. I'd like to start a portion of the conference. So first question, please. 産経新聞の草加と申します。若田さんに伺います。どうもお疲れ様です。昨日ですね、到着直後の更新イベントで、今日からバリバリ仕事をしたいというふうにおっしゃっていました。1日経ちましたが、初日というのは、到着されて初日というのはですね、実際どういうことをされたのか、ぜひご感想も含めて。
Can you talk about what you did today and also your impression?
はい、宇宙ステーションに到着後数日間というのは宇宙ステーションの環境に慣れるため、それから宇宙ステーションの中にあるいろんな装置モジュール、その場所を確認するような作業っていうのが続きます。ですから具体的な作業
Inside the station, we have to confirm these various devices. So there aren't much. There isn't much for me to do, but to confirm the location of the various facilities, the switches, and for example, the tools to carry out the repair. I've been checking out these various devices, and that's how I'm spending my time now. But it's about 4 years since I was last here. I feel like I'm back to my old workplace. And I'm very keen to start the experiments. I think I can go right away and start. Fukaya from Kyodo News to Dr. Wakata. Dr. Wakata, it's the fourth time that you've gone to space, and also it's the second time that you're staying at the ISS. Do you feel that something has changed, something is different this time? And next year, you will become the commander. So what is your motivation commitment to becoming commander?
前回2009年に宇宙ステーションに滞在した時、
Well,
日本実験棟の組み立ての最終
the last time I stayed here was in 2009, and at that time I was in the last phase of assembling Kibo, the experimental module. And at the station, there are several other new additional modules added, especially the Earth observation Cupra. A module with a lot of windows has been installed, and we can view the Earth from the windows, and you can see the Earth. And I think that this view was not something that we can see in the past with the other modules, so this is really impressive. Well, about becoming commander, well, Fyodor is here, and when he returns, Dr. Kotov will become commander. And I will be receiving information on how to command the station. I think I was blessed with various leaders who have worked above me, and I would like to implement what I've learned from my predecessors and try to work so that I can extract all the capabilities of the crew members.
日本放送の畑中と申します。若田さんに伺います。今月まもなくISS 建設開始から15周年ということになります。ISS についてはいろいろ言われているところもありますけれども、今若田さんステーションに身を置くお立場としての今の思いというのをですね、端的にお聞きください。
Who is stationed in ISS? Would you like to give your thought?
この国際宇宙ステーションという、国際協力プロジェクトの中でいかに重要な役割を果たしているのかということをこの宇宙の現場にいても。
Well, Japan is playing a very important role in International Space Station, and I really feel that when I am there, and the assembly of Kibo was completed in 2009, and it's been operating properly, and there are a lot of results coming out from the Japan experiment module. So people from the world collaborate and expand the boundary of activity, and Japan is playing a very important role there. And I feel pride in taking part in there, and would like to accomplish the mission that I have to do. I'm Kaneko of NBS. I'd like to also ask Dr. Wakata. So you are now, this time you had flew with the 6 hours very short flight. So it must have been very busy for you. So would you give us your impression about getting on the very fast track ride to ISS? Well, docking with only 4 rounds, and Tyurin, Mr. Tyurin, and also Mastracchio, they did a great work. So with only 4 rounds on orbit, everything went very smooth. We were launched from Kazakhstan, and it was much quicker than flying to Japan to reach to ISS. It was only 6 hours in a very short period of time, and we can go and come back to Earth in very short time. So Russia has such a capability, manned space capability, and I feel very respect for the capability. And the time was very short, so our adjustment to space is actually going smoothly, I feel.
Shukan Aski, my name is Akiyama. Well, first, I'm praying for the success of the mission. Kibo, one of the missions of Kibo, I'd like to ask specifically about the mission, about the release of the small satellite. And I do understand that you'll be releasing the small satellite. Also, amongst the various satellites you'll be releasing, do you have one that you think will be especially promising?
そうですね。衛星の放出に関してはどれもいろんな研究者。
Well, as for the release of the satellites, I think that various developers, researchers have worked hard to develop and produce the satellites. I want to work hard to release all of them. Now, about the release of these small satellites, this is because we have Kibo. And I think that this is a mission which will tap on the capability of Kibo. There's the airlock, the human airlock. There will be the EVA, but Russia and the United States do have the airlock for people to exit and enter. But it is only the GEM which can release these satellites and devices, and we will be releasing from Kibo. And I think that this will be a mission which will be leveraging on the capability of Kibo GEM. Dr. Wakata, Ogane from NHK. Again, a question regarding your becoming a commander. As commander, you want to exert leadership in creating harmony. Can you explain to us how you want to achieve this goal and express to us your commitment and ambition of becoming commander? Mr. Ogane, thank you for your support. We have 9 members, colleagues here, but each of the astronauts have high capability, experience, and techniques, and all 9 have their strong ambition in carrying out the mission. I think that in order to exert the results as a team, we have to work together with everyone, even the people on the ground in Houston, Moscow, etc. And we have to work hard, and I have to function as commander to try to leverage all the capabilities that are available to us. Harmony is important. Communication will be vital in carrying out the mission.
Again, Kaneko of NVS, representing country. Probably Olympic athletes and astronauts are similar, and you are at this time bringing up Olympic torches. So would you like to give a few words to Olympic athletes?
そうですね。オリンピックの代表選手の皆さんの活躍を期待したいと思います。やはりオリンピックも世界中の
Olympic athletes, I hope that they will do their best and bring up great results. And Olympic people get together and have good communication and do their best in order to expand their capability. And space exploration is very similar. It's the type of activity that expands the human activity. So bringing up Olympic torches up to space is very symbolic, very similar to the activity in space. So I am very happy to be part of it. And tomorrow we are going to have EVA, and I hope that EVA tomorrow is going to be wonderful, done by Russian people. Also, I hope that the Japanese athletes would do very well in Olympics in Sochi.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event. Thank you.
Welcome, with our pleasure.
And Station Houston, thank you all to all participants. Station, we're resuming operational audio comm.